And joining me now is Barrie Livingston. He's an author and a royals expert. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Oh, it's great to be here, but under sad circumstances indeed, I must say.
Certainly under sad circumstances. Now, Prince Charles, he is famous, or almost infamous, I would say, for kind of scandalizing the monarchy, especially with his divorce, with the death of Princess Diana, with the marriage to formerly Camilla Parker Bowles, now the Queen Consort. What change are we witnessing here as we go from Queen Elizabeth II to King George III?
Well, what we're witnessing here is history, and it's not very often where we feel like we are parts of history, and he's actually transitioning to becoming the king. So everything that's part of his past is now part of who he is now and part of his future. And he's been groomed his whole life. He knew that this moment would happen at some point. So it's very important, and he will always stay neutral. He will always stay, he has his beliefs, obviously. Years and years ago, he's always been talking about organic food, and he's very much known with what the fossil fuel industry has been doing and global warming. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays into world politics when you are to remain neutral.
Well, that is my question then. As you're supposed to remain neutral as a monarch there, but yet there's still influence. So what form does that influence take? Like, how does this work? Help my American brain.
Well, there are things called facts, and I think that, sometimes politics tends to distort that, and there are just facts. There's never been 7 billion people on the planet before, and there's never been billions of cars before. So clearly those are things that are affecting, whether one chooses to believe it or not. So I think he's very well equipped. One of the things about the royal family is they have an incredible command of the English language, the Queen herself. There is so much power in silence. She kept silent sometimes for too long during Princess Diana's death. I think she was just shocked, and it took a few days for her to address the nation and the world. But she was always poised, and she always said exactly and precisely the right words.
Yeah, I think if you look up the definition of regal, you will see a picture of Queen Elizabeth II. But I do wonder about her legacy here. She presided over an empire that went from 70 countries abroad to 14. And a lot of people, Republicans, questioned the need for a monarch a lot during her time. So will her legacy be one that we're seeing today, where she's incredibly popular? Or when you zoom out 10, 20 years from now, will it be this is when the empire died under her reign?
Well, I don't think it will be looked at as it died under her reign. What it did was it blossomed and it changed into something else. And what it changed into something was something that was respected, even though there was atrocities that were committed, across centuries and centuries, which of course were nothing to do with her personally. So I feel like the way she's handled herself and the way she handled England and the way she brought everyone together, she'll be remembered for great inclusivity, incredible poise, and always perhaps saying the right thing, maybe waiting a little bit to say things, but she will be remembered as the first monarch in modern history that has really shaped the way England is viewed by the rest of the world. And in many ways, most people don't think about history. And I think that's why Americans are so fascinated with the royals, because we have being in America, we're here less than 300 years. So as much history as we have when we go to Washington, D.C., and we look back at George Washington, and we look back at some of the atrocities that we've had here in this country to deal with, history needs to be learned from, and books and all kinds of facts need to be adhered to. And I think that the royal family is a shining example of that. I mean, they have to deal with their history, and they have to move forward.
Yeah. How about this? Queen Elizabeth II was Queen of England for almost 1/3 of America's entire existence. That's the longevity that you're talking about. That is Barrie Livingston. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.